This program on investing under regulation crowdfunding is not investment advice.
Rising with the crowd, power unbound, change makers lead where hope is found. Superpowers for good, shaping the fate. Investors and dreamers open the gate. Supercross stands loud, proud and true, building tomorrow for me and you.
Welcome to the Superpowers for Good show. Have you ever wondered how you could profit from climate solutions? I've got the highest tech, most advanced, most sophisticated climate solution you've ever seen, and I'll tell you how you can profit from its implementation today. I have today as our guest an amazing guy, but let me tell you first, thank you all for joining us today. This is the Super Crowd presents the Superpowers for Good show. I'm your host, Devin Thorpe, and we've got an amazing guest. But I want to thank those of you who are new, especially to the show. I invite you to stick around and watch the whole entire episode so you get a sense, a flavor for what we're doing and how you can profit from participating in the impact crowdfunding movement that we're building. Our guest today is Doug Willmore. He's the CEO of EcoTree, an incredible company that is implementing an incredible high-tech solution for climate change. Doug, welcome to the show.
Thanks so much, Devin. Thanks for having me. It's great to be here, and I look forward to sharing what we're up to with all your viewers and seeing where we head to in this half hour.
Yeah, I'm thrilled that you can be here. Tell us about this high-tech solution you've got for addressing climate change.
Yeah, I jokingly, but also not jokingly, sometimes when I am presenting, I start off with EcoTree represents the most complex, technologically advanced carbon capture system on the planet, and it's called a tree. In this case, it's called the Empress Splendor tree. It's the fastest growing hardwood tree in the world. Very non-invasive, very friendly, very benign, friendly with nature and other crops. But we'll have a 60-foot tall tree within 8 to 10 years, usually. And then the amazing thing is that tree produces valuable lumber. And when we harvest it, it regrows from the stump. We'll get actually 5 generations of lumber out of just one planting. And so when you have a tree that is 60 feet tall and 18, 20 inches in diameter, that biomass is filled with carbon. And we turn that carbon into high value, long lasting products. We're currently selling into the musical instrument industry, the boat industry, furniture, cabinets, veneers, things like that. Then that carbon is sequestered in those high value, long lasting products for hopefully 100 years or more. So it's kind of nature's best solution for sequestering carbon and reclaiming valuable property that has been damaged or degraded.
In Germany, one of the most common renewable energy sources is trees. They're burning trees. But I love what you're doing, whereas your focus is on harvesting the tree and turning it into something that could live as valuable furniture or some other item for 50 years, 100 years, maybe longer, maybe never releasing that carbon back into the atmosphere.
Right.
I mean, it's amazing. Tell us a little bit about the origin story of EcoTree.
And founded EcoTree. Wendy was in the finance industry, and she heard about this species called the Empress Splendor tree at a timber conference and was amazed by its properties, checked and found out Wendy was from British Columbia, but checked and saw that no one had ever really commercialized this friendly species in North America. And so EcoTree is now the largest grower we have more than 7,000 acres that we planted. All started with just an idea from one person. The timber industry is pretty rigid and pretty in many ways kind of old fashioned and growing the same species over time. And so I think it took someone with new ideas and a different vision to say, we're going to do something new and try something new. And we get approached all the time to do what you mentioned in Germany, to actually grow trees for biomass, for biofuel. And listen, growing or burning 10 years of carbon for fuel is far better for the climate than burning 10,000 years of carbon like coal and things like that. But still, for us, the business model for us is growing trees to sequester carbon and high value, long lasting products that all of us need. Um, while people are very aware of the deforestation crisis in the tropics and subtropics, not many people know that we're losing tree cover in North America and Europe every year. We think the primary driver is maybe fires, drought, things like that. It's actually legal forestry practices. So, one of the goals we have here isn't just to sequester carbon, it's actually to protect native forests from logging and to retain tree cover. As we lose tree cover every year, we lose the fight against climate change. Um, and so we love how we're able to, when Wendy started World Tree, she deliberately made it a for profit company because we wanted to show people that you could make a big impact and produce returns at the same time.
It I'm excited to have you participate in Super Crowd LA, which is coming up in just well, as we will air this episode, it starts just in 48 hours. In 2 days, we'll be launching Super Crowd LA May 1st through 3rd in Santa Monica, but also live streaming to the world. You'll be a prominent part of Super Crowd LA. And the reason, of course, is that people are able to participate by investing in your work. What can you tell us about the crowdfund offering you're launching on May 1st?
Yeah, so the amazing thing. So we do a crowdfunding offering every year. We do it to invest in a new planting of trees for that year. We call it a new vintage. And here's the amazing thing, and I think this really points to the difference that individuals can make. Or, there's a really famous, I think, a really wise quote from Margaret Mead: never doubt that a small group of committed people can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. So let me tell you this, Devin. Little Old World Tree has partnered with now 370 small farmers and 1,500 small investors over these 9 years. The value of the assets that we have planted, more than $300 million.
Wow.
That
Wow.
that shows the power of not only an idea, but how small people, retail investors, small farmers can get together to create a true triple bottom line solution, a win-win-win all the way around. Small farmers in the United States on average made $1 in profit per acre last year. 50% of them lost money. So all our small farmers, the share of the profit from the EcoTree program that we've put together for farmers and investors and World Tree, the hope is that they'll be generating $40,000 to $50,000 per acre in profit at every harvest, so every 10 years. So that's really what we're shooting for, is sharing those profits with investors, with small farmers, with World Tree. And it's all designed around growing trees, growing the fastest growing tree in the world so we can keep up with demand that's out there and can really make a difference in this rapidly warming climate that we face, as well as with many individuals. As I find out there, they recognize climate change, but other than some small things that they can do in their life, they don't know what else to do. And in this case, we call it, putting your money where your heart is or where your heart lives. And it's in trees and small farmers and producing returns from that.
Yeah, it is inspiring to see all the great things you're doing. Tell us a little bit about where these farms are. I think they're not all located in Topeka. Where are they?
No, we could actually grow this species all over the United States. However, we focus where the longest growing seasons are. So we get faster growth. We focus on places where we don't need to irrigate, so plentiful rain. We stay away from drought areas where there is fire danger. So for the United States, that's the southeastern US. We have plenty of farms in Alabama, Georgia, North Florida, parts of Tennessee, Mississippi, that area where our farmers don't need to irrigate. Well, these trees are very drought resistant. They need water regularly the first couple of years before they get established. And then we're also growing in southeastern Mexico and in Costa Rica are two really great growing regions for us. And so those three areas combined are where the vast majority of our farms are, where we're growing. We get just incredible growth there. We have really great small farmers, and we're going to continue to add every year. The only restriction we have really on continuing to grow this program year over year is capital. And so we really have the operations down and the protocol down to be able to just produce a robust crop every year that we raise capital, we plant, we raise capital the next year, we plant, and like that. And so that every year we'll be producing a new harvest of lumber starting in December of 2026. We'll be producing a new harvest of lumber every year and growing every year beyond that.
I love what you're doing, and I'm proud to say I have invested in
Yeah.
in the EcoTree program. I'm grateful for the great work you're doing and the opportunity to potentially profit pretty handsomely from the opportunity to invest. And so I want to encourage everyone to check it out at ecotreeprogram.com. Certainly, it has my endorsement as an existing investor. Doug, we got to take a quick break. But folks, just as a reminder, I'm here today with Doug Willmore, the CEO of WorldTree, the most technologically advanced climate solution there is. And we're going to take a break. But when we come back, we'll be talking to Doug about his superpower. You don't want to miss this. Stick around.
Download a free copy of How to Make Money with Impact Crowdfunding. The book Sarah Hanks describes as
a fantastic overview, not just of crowdfunding investing, but of investing in general.
Andrew Savickas raved,
"This book offers unparalleled insights for anyone looking to make a difference."
Scan the QR code to get your copy.
SuperCrowd LA is the premier conference for impact investors, social entrepreneurs, and community builders. Learn from experts who've raised millions, including leaders from Start Engine, Aptera, DNA, and WorldTree, plus a live pitch with top investment opportunities. Can't attend? Watch the live stream on E360 TV. Struggling to raise capital for your business? Unlock the power of the crowd with AI. My free guide, Crowdfunding Made Simple, walks you through every step to success. Get funded smarter, faster. Scan the QR code now for your free download. Welcome back, everyone. I'm so excited today here at the SuperCrowd Presents Superpowers for Good show. I'm your host, Devin Thorpe, and we have with us today Doug Willmore, who is the CEO of WorldTree, that now has $300 million of lumber in the ground growing as trees. It's a huge, huge operation that we can participate in as investors. I have. I invite you to check it out. But we're going to shift gears now to talk to Doug about his superpower. So stick around. Doug, uh, I just couldn't be more impressed with the incredible work you're doing. The layer upon layer of social impact. We see the climate solution, but it's so much more. Helping small farmers make more profits, protecting, preserving, and enhancing nature and the growing environment around us. I mean, just it's powerful, wonderful stuff that you're doing. What is your superpower?
Wow, that's a great question, Devin. And I'll tell you, a story early in my career. I was a results producer. I was able to get stuff done and get things done, but I also noticed I drove people pretty hard, too hard. And I remember talking to my father once about a good employee that I'd lost that moved on elsewhere, and I was reconsidering looking at my management style and what I did and how I did it. And he said something to me. He said, at the end of the day, at the end of your life, you're going to feel far better for giving people more opportunities than not giving them enough opportunities. And I delved into that. He said, you always got to err on the side of trust. It doesn't mean you want to be Pollyanna and just trust everybody, but when you distrust people, it really limits possibility. And so that's a sort of a longer story for me to say my superpower is love. I think love is the most underused word in business around. And I think it's one of the most important pieces of every successful story that you see out there. And it's not just love of an idea, it's love of people, it's love of the things you get to wake up and do every day. I think love is one of the most mistaken things about how powerful a goal can be. We set goals thinking that it's important that we get there. It's important that yes, we want to achieve that. The most important thing about that goal, do you love it? Do you love it? Because that goal needs to be there for you every day to motivate you. And you want to get up out of bed excited to go to work on what you're going to work on. And my twin brother
Yeah,
Jeff said to me once, he said, and I think it's especially true for the times we're in now, the chaotic times. And he said, the future belongs to the lovers. And I really believe that, and I'm talking about the
yeah,
people that wear their heart on their sleeve, that put their passion out front, that put their care for people and planet and relationships at the forefront. Um, and so that's, I think, I I really care about that, and I do that, and um,
it's a great
and
superpower.
I invite others to lean into love and to find ways to build that into
Yeah,
their business, into their meetings, into their relationships in business, into how they structure partnerships, into how they hire people. Are you going to love working with that person,
yeah, yeah.
even no
Such a
matter
good
what their
point.
skills are? Yeah.
Such a good point. Listen, I wonder if you have in your mind a good example. You alluded to the experience of having someone leave the business because maybe he didn't feel enough love. What what's an example of something that you feel like you accomplished by manifesting love, especially for a person, a colleague or a client or something?
Yeah. Um, Let's see. So probably a couple things I say. So first of all, I wouldn't be at World Tree without that. I mean, I've had a successful startup before, had sold it, had a successful exit, and went in. It was in the healthcare business, and went into government service. But it was because of climate change that I thought, I'm going to go back to the private sector. I thought the private sector was key to the solution for climate change. I thought we needed to show people that you could produce an impact and produce returns at the same time. And Wendy Burton, the founder of World Tree, saw me speak at a conference. We connected a little later on. She was looking for someone to scale her company, her great idea. And Wendy and I both will say that this partnership started because we fell in love with each other. I don't mean the romantic love, but I
Yeah,
mean the we loved each other. We loved what we could possibly do together. And so
that's great.
one of the things that I'd say that I think I'd let people know about that, where love shows up. Love shows up when you dwell in possibility. And too often, I think with any idea, approach, plan, we go very quickly to how's this going to be implemented? How do we handle this or that? And I really try and get myself as well as my team to pull back, dwell in possibility, and find, because it will be that love of whatever that idea is that sees you through the tough times.
Yeah, that's great.
Um,
That's great. What's
yeah.
one tip you can give us for employing love in our work?
Um, someone on our board, Alan English, is a really, really great entrepreneur from Australia. He's built a very successful business there. He's had several conversations with Richard Branson. And one of the things he related to me about Richard Branson was that he looked at business wanting to say yes, not wanting to say no. And so, boy, love shows up in the possibility and the yeses and the uh, let let's find a way to make this partnership work or this idea or it's sort of like I mean, I tell people as soon as we start making decisions based on money, love leaves the room. And
Yeah,
yes we're in business to make a profit, but it's also got to be a profit. And when it's just the focus on the profit, love it's gone. It leaves the room. It's a sure way to have
yeah,
no romance in your life. And again, I'm not talking about romantic love, but just the
yeah,
love of life and business and working. And so that's one of
yeah,
the things I'd say is looking to say yes, looking for the possibility, dwelling in the possibility. What could this make possible? And it's amazing what comes out of that. Because so quickly that focus on how are we going to make this work, it will kill things, kill
yeah,
ideas, possibilities,
yeah.
partnerships, things like that.
Well, as
So
we
that's
wrap up
what I'd
here,
say.
Doug, we need to wrap up. Take 1 minute. Tell people how they can learn more, how they can connect with you, where they can follow you on social media for your wisdom, et cetera, et cetera.
So, listen, we'd love for you to visit worldtree.eco. That's our website. It tells you everything that we're up to. We're really proud of what we've done. Our new impact report is on there. And then our new campaign is live in just a few days on May 1st. Again, crowdfunding has been central to the success of World Tree. We started World Tree that way. We continue every year. And it's just amazing that this group of small investors and small farmers have produced an asset base worth 300 million. Our plan is to scale that to well over $1 billion over the next few years. We'd love for all of you to be part of it. And we've got a team of 27 people now around 4 or 5 different countries and growing all the time. No pun intended. But investing in trees has never been, a better thing to do. And now's the time to do it.
Yeah, I'm so excited. Thank you so much for being here with us today, Doug. Again, I love what you're doing. I'm proud to be an investor. I want to wish you every success with this year's crowdfunding campaign and effort, and also with your ongoing efforts to address climate change in such a high-tech and effective way.
Thanks so much, Devin. Appreciate being here. And thanks all your viewers for listening, and looking forward to being in touch with them down the road.
All righty. Let's do some good.